Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the MaffmanJones movie show. I'm your host, as always, Bravo Johnny, and today's featured film is Nobody, directed by the man who directed Hardcore Henry. This one stars Bob Odenkirk as a suburban father who basically is going through the motions of this 9-to-5 suburban life, just kind of trying to figure out where his purpose is really. He's going through a midlife crisis of sorts, and something reignites his soul in a fiery, angry way when a couple of thieves break into his house and threaten his family. So he goes out and tries to beat the shit out of some people to try to recapture the excitement of his youth, I guess, and that's where you have this movie. It basically falls in line with the same pattern we've had with the John Wick movies, or more like the original John Wick film, and Atomic Blonde, where you have your hero or your anti-hero, and they have a big obstacle, and the obstacle happens to be just an onslaught of stages worth of enemies to get through in order to achieve a goal. And I'm not going to give away details of the story, I never do that, but this does revolve around a man who is in his late 40s, early 50s. He has a couple of kids, he has a wife, but you see in the beginning of the film, this is very early, this is one of the first things you see, is his everyday, Monday through Sunday life, and just kind of going through what he experiences as a father every single day, and how, in the terms of our character that we're experiencing, how, I guess, monotonous and routine and frustrating it could be. So when he gets the opportunity to beat some people up, it kind of brings something out of him. So we're basically just watching this guy, this Bob Odenkirk character, really do something that doesn't really resonate with audiences, I don't think. It didn't resonate with me, but going through and seeing this character kind of have this energy rebuilt is fun, and it's exciting. And what makes it more fun is the supporting cast in here, and by that I mean the RZA and Christopher Lloyd, who we don't really get to see much of, but when they are on screen, all three of them especially together, there are some fireworks. There's a great chemistry there, in my opinion. It's goofy, it's ridiculous, especially when this movie leans into the goofy nature of it. It really has some memorable moments. But for the most part, if you've seen the previous movies from this crew of sorts, Derek Kolstad here wrote the movie, and he's collaborated on movies I mentioned earlier, you're going to have a good time with this. I don't think it's mediocre. I don't think it's a low effort. I just think if you've seen these movies before from your John Wicks and your Atomic Blondes, so to speak, then you're going to go into this knowing what to expect, and you should enjoy this. If you haven't seen these movies before, you might get something more out of this. I'm not sure. For me, I knew what I was going into pretty much, and I found a rhythm to it. It doesn't... There's a lot of effort that you could see was being placed in here from Bob Odenkirk, who we know better from Better Call Saul and his comedic work he wrote for SNL, and he's been a comedic force for a long time. But to see him do months and months of work to create this action, macho physique, so to speak, was really... And it was cool to see him really develop this new kind of arsenal for his resume, because he's dipped into drama, he's dipped into comedy, and now he's dipping into action, and it really suits him well. He has the look for it, he has the work ethic for it, and it really shows in the film. And if more than anything else, besides the supporting cast bringing that chemistry, like I mentioned before, I think his work ethic really makes this movie worth watching. Other than that, I think if you're not a fan of action, you're not going to find anything that's really going to hit you here. It's a basic, typical vengeance story where you have a character trying to fix something and spending the whole movie trying to do that. The action is well choreographed, it's well shot, you see everything happening. There's a couple really great bloody moments, as well as goofy ones that more partake to Christopher Lloyd's character, who we haven't seen in movies in a long time, if I'm not mistaken, and the RZA, who, as a Staten Islander, always great to see, and he's utilized well here. Connie Nielsen plays the wife here, I thought was great. The villain is alright. The whole thing is that, like, he dances and he enjoys and indulges in hobbies, but then when things have to get serious, he gets super serious. We've seen that before. It's serviceable in this movie to get the job done, but it doesn't really bring anything new to the table. Don't want that to be misconstrued with the work ethic that went into this film with a Bob Odenkirk and the cast and crew. I think the movie does a good enough job of being entertaining. It just isn't like a knockout home run. It's good and enjoyable in the moment, and it's action comfort food, I think. And that's basically what nobody is. It's action comfort food. If you like Bob Odenkirk, I feel like most people do like Bob Odenkirk, then you'll enjoy this movie. If you enjoy fun action that's choreographed well, this is your cup of tea. Otherwise, I don't really see a reason why you should go out and watch this, especially in theaters. Definitely worth a rental, but if you're not like super interested in watching it, then don't go crazy. Wait till it comes out on, the Blu-ray and on demand and all that fun stuff. I really liked it. I would give it a recommendation. But yeah, that's exactly what I said. Nobody's a movie that's coming out, and I think it's a nice little appetizer for what's coming out this week, which is Godzilla vs. Kong, which is going to be the big test, I think, for movie theaters right now, since LA is now opened up, along with New York, which are New York and LA are the two biggest facets for the revenue for movie theaters. So we'll see how this weekend fares coming up. I think it's going to be better than people are expecting because from what I've seen, lots of sold out show times. But I'm getting carried away. Nobody is a really fun action movie, and Bob Odenkirk is always great. And no, I am not Jalen Rose, despite me doing what he does on his podcast with Jacoby Myers. But if you enjoyed watching this video, please, you could subscribe right down there if you haven't already and ring that bell so that every time I make a new video, you'll get a notification for it in your feed, because YouTube likes to do shady things with that, and any way you can see a new video pop up there is always good. If you want to, also comment down below about what you thought of the movie, if you saw it, and what would you like to see from the pairings of a David Leitch or a Chad Stahelski and Derek Kolstad, who writes a lot of these films. Like, who is an unlikely action hero that you'd like to see? Like, what actor or actress would you like to see in that kind of position? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in this far if you're still here. I love all of you, and I'll see you for Godzilla vs. Kong, I guess. Team Kong, because f*** all of y'all who think Godzilla's gonna win this shit. It's just not gonna happen. F*** him, that big lizard bitch, he's nobody. I'll see you guys soon. Love y'all. Bye.
I was trying really hard not to laugh.